This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Garry Thompson, the chairman and CEO of Brixton Metals. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you, BBB on the TSX Venture and BBBXF on the OTCQB. Garry, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good to
Thanks
hear.
for having
Good to
me.
hear. Of course, absolutely. So let's start with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, Brixton is a junior exploration company focused on really silver, gold, and copper. And actually, this year marks 2020 marks our 10-year anniversary. So we're pretty excited about that, having survived another downturn. And so we're busy drilling. We're doing exploration. We have 4 wholly owned assets, more silver weighted, but silver, gold, copper. Very large scale assets, mainly focused in Canada and the US.
And what would you say makes the company unique and different compared to your peers out there?
Well, I'll say a couple things. For a junior company, we've got generated exceptional drill results on all 4 of our properties. The company has great liquidity. We've traded, I think, since year to date 2020, 108 million shares or something. And we've got a group of very strong shareholders, and we're well financed.
Okay. I mean, what would you say is the number one question that investors have been asking you recently that maybe you might want to address? Maybe 1 or 2 questions that you've been getting asked recently.
Well, I would say, what's going on recently with the company. There's been a lot of price action in the stock, and so that's one that people like to see. Obviously, we've gone through a pretty challenging time over the years, so people want to know what's going on, what's happening, and we've been active, even I guess the whole COVID thing notwithstanding. We've been reasonably active in doing exploration. So we've generated some good results, and I think that's starting to pay off in our market. I think our share price was a low of about 8 cents this year, and we topped up to about 57 cents this year already. So a lot of action. So you can imagine we had a lot of inbound calls. What's going on?
Garry, can maybe tell us a little bit about some of these drill results that happened on your properties this year?
Yeah, so we started drilling in the winter months in our high-grade silver project in Ontario called Langus. It was a historical high-grade silver producer that was operated by Agnico Mines and shut down in like '89 or something. So we picked that up in 2016, and we've gone year by year chipping away at looking to find more high-grade silver. So we generated some multi-kilo silver intervals, 5-6 meters of 2,000 to 3,000 kilos of silver per ton. What's unique about this asset is that we're drilling. Historically, the mining camp in Ontario called the Cobalt Camp was known for narrow high-grade veins, but what we've demonstrated is actually pretty broad intervals, like 5, 6, 7, 8 meter intervals of high-grade silver in the multi-kilo per ton grades. And so it's native silver, which is quite unique. A lot of times you don't see the gold or the silver itself in these deposits. It's mixed up in other metals, other sulfides, where you don't see it. But we're actually seeing native silver disseminated in veins within the host rock. So that's quite unique. So what that means is a relatively easy processing. You could crush up the rock and let gravity do a lot of the work for you. So that's a unique opportunity. That was early on in the year. By about May, June, we started drilling in Montana. We have this project called Hog Heaven. And there's been a lot of work done there. They had produced some very high-grade silver, some direct ship ore in the sort of 30 ounce per ton silver range. And so we wanted to do some drilling there to really just to revamp the project, if you will. A lot of the drilling on that project was done in the 1970s and 1980s. So it's really more of a confirmation exercise, validation of the historical work. And we were successful in drilling some very broad intervals of silver, but also within that a series of very high-grade silver It's silver, gold, and copper. It's a polymetallic mineralized system, and we're still working through. The overall system needs a lot more work, but most of the work was focused on like 2 areas, and we're starting to look at some of the other targets now that need some work. But historically, some very high grade silver, gold, and copper numbers were generated at Hog Heaven. I think one of the intervals we had was 1,800 grams silver, 5 grams of gold, and like 15% copper. So very high grade copper too. So we're still working through that, and hope to get back drilling there sometime soon. Now in BC, we're very active. We actually have over 20 people in camp since June, and now mostly geochem work and geophysics, and we're just now starting to get the drills turning up there. And we're talking about a 65, 70 kilometer mineralized trend that we've been working on there. So company has a lot of projects, a lot of things on the go, and so we're actively drilling now in northern BC in the Golden Triangle. So we're excited about that, and be looking for the fall. Hopefully by the time the show is live, we'll have some fresh drill results from that project.
And with that, where can our audience go and find everything they need to know about Brixton Metals?
Well, go to brixtonmetals.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, Garry, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. I wish you guys best of luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. My name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, now being held virtually this year. Garry will be there, and I appreciate you all tuning in to listen to our interview. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.